Is it a good idea to give an ex an ultimatum? My name is Coach Adrian. I am joined by the one and only Coach Alex, and I'm delighted to be able to deepen our understanding of this important question if you're trying to rebuild a relationship with an ex. Is it a good idea? Is it ever a good idea? And if so, how should you go about doing that? We have the world's number one leading expert on the topic to answer this question. So thank you, Coach Alex, for taking the time.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to do videos with you, Coach Adrian. And I know it's not an easy situation because sometimes, we have changed. After the breakup, we do everything. We go to the gym, we change the way we dress. Maybe sometimes we change the work and we are seeing our friends. And we are just becoming the best version of ourselves. But our ex is the last one to see it. Our ex will always be the last one, to basically validate what we are doing. And we are seeking, even if we don't do it a lot, we are seeking a little bit of validation, or we love to see our ex seeing that we have changed and that we are basically on the right path to rebuild the relationship. So there is this moment where I have people that I coach, they come to me and they ask me, Alex, should I give an ultimatum to my ex? Should I tell my ex that after this date, it's over? For me, it's not the best decision. And I will tell you why. It's because you're giving your plan to your ex. So if you tell your ex that basically you will, after this date, you will stop, they will not take you seriously. But if you start using the distance, not the no contact, but the radio silence, where you distance yourself, you change your behavior, you will regain your ex attention. So before to make any move that can be jeopardizing your situation and your chances to get your ex back, I would really encourage you to look at the distance as the first solution. But I want to know if you have already told the client to use the ultimatum.
So a lot of times when someone asks us this question, it is in the context of giving an ultimatum so that an ex commits to you. That's what you're thinking. And it's usually not the best idea, but there are exceptions. In some cases, when clients have done the work, when they have evolved, when they've really, really, really gone above and beyond to focus on themselves, if a significant other is taking you for granted and you are ready to move on, you are ready to let go of this process of trying to rebuild a new relationship, I have in some cases encouraged individuals to convey to their ex that they were in essence setting them free and letting go. But it wasn't done with the hope of using it as a reverse psychology tool to get them to come back. It was really because those clients were at a point where they were done with the process and they needed to let their significant other know that they were actually truly moving on at that point. In that context, yes, it
makes sense.
It can make sense. I have seen other cases where people have perhaps lowered their value and started sleeping with their significant other again. And they get caught in this state of limbo where you become friends with benefits, where your ex no longer wants to commit to you. They're very comfortable having you in their lives and they're calling you, as a booty call and to get together and kind of, fulfill your carnal desires together, but they're not seeing you as the dream girl or the dream guy. And so in cases like this, more than an ultimatum, it is okay to take a step back and say, I am no longer comfortable with this, right? And you're not telling them, I am no longer comfortable with this unless you commit to me. You're telling them, I am no longer comfortable with this because I'm looking for something else, because I want to be with someone who values me, who wants to be with me, who's committed to a different type of relationship. And so in essence, you're giving your ex an ultimatum, but it's not in the context of commit to me or else. Because usually when you do this, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work because your ex will not take you serious. It will be like your ex will think that you're joking or you say that, but you will be the one reach out after.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love in your examples is that there is no perfect magical situation when we try to get your ex back. It's always you have to make the decision that makes you stronger. Because I have told clients to do an ultimatum the moment I knew that they needed it to be themselves very strong. So it was an idea for them to be clear. Because what is the most difficult part after the breakup is being unclear. Do I have a chance to get my ex back? Can I just rebuild the trust? Can I make my ex love me again like she or he used to do? So you can use the ultimatum. It is just not a good idea to use it if you are not strong, if you are not dedicated, and if you are not true with yourself. Because if it's the case, then we prefer you to use the distance. We prefer you to focus on yourself and to make your ex come more and more, because we can recreate attraction this way also. So it's a tricky question because it's not black or white. It's always gray.
The worst thing that you can do is to contradict yourself, to say to your ex, this is it, and then to come back, running back. Because then you are really shooting yourself in the foot, and your value you become less and less credible. So I often talk about this notion of coherence, and there needs to be coherence in the way that you approach and communicate with your significant other, and the way that you approach the breakup process, recovery as a whole. If you truly mean it, if you know that you can be strong enough and stick with this line that you're drawing in the sand, like Coach Alex was saying, then perhaps it can have value. Perhaps it can have value because, in essence, you're forcing your ex sooner or later to appreciate the fact that they have lost you and you're choosing to pull away on your terms. This can have value. But I know that in many cases, when individuals have asked me this question, whether it's in the context of a coaching session or in the comment section of a video just like this one, you're doing it from a place of heightened emotion, where you're just seeking a reaction. It's not a thought out strategy that you've been kind of, working, building towards, and a way for you to regain power. It is a desperate attempt to get them to commit to you. And if you're using an ultimatum in that context, they're not going to take you seriously. They're going to test you. You're going to cave, and you will be less credible. And it's going to be more difficult to earn their trust and respect along the way. So it is an important question, and one that you need to consider in light of your reality and what has happened since the breakup.
So ask yourself, do you really want to do it? That's the first question. Are you scared? Because if you're scared to do some actions, then you should not do them. You should take the time to heal. You should take the time to refocus on yourself. And usually just this time and the distance will give you clarity. So that will be my recommendation to you guys, because I know it's hurtful. I know that you're doing a lot. I know that you want to do your best and you want to make yourself in a better position to make your ex regret their decision. But as you mentioned, when you contradict yourself. So I have seen some people doing the ultimatum and they are negative at this time. They are angry. And 2 days after, I'm so sorry, I should have not reacted like this. This is not giving you, like I always say that when you do mistakes, you will start from zero, right? But this is less than zero. You know that if you are doing these mistakes, your ex will just not take you seriously, like not at all. So we want to avoid that for you right now.
Absolutely right. And I think that it's so important what Coach Alex is saying, because if you're, the mindset and your posture when you are having this type of conversation with your ex is so important. And if it's not coming from a place of confidence and detachment, where you have control over your emotions, it undermines your credibility. And in some ways you have this negative energy field that's repulsive, that will not enable your ex to really, really see the value in getting back with you. But if it's coming from a place of confidence, if you have been able to reconnect with your significant other, if you see that they're into you, and for some reason you can't get them to commit to you, if you find that you have been able to detach, you realize that you are happy without them, and they need a push, and you're prepared to be more patient and more detached than they are after you give them that push, then it's something that you may want to consider. But again, like we were saying at the beginning of this episode, in most cases, ultimatums do not work. And it's important for you to understand that, so that you're not just throwing an ultimatum at the first opportunity you have to try to get your ex to kind of react in a certain way.
So I think that was basically the advice that you need to hear, guys. Take the time to make a decision. Take the time to look at your ex behavior and look at your strength also. Because I've seen some people doing ultimatum because it gives us the idea that, okay, now I can move on. Now I know it's really helping me. But it was very few people. So I'm a little bit, not scared, but I want to make sure that you will not do something that you will regret afterwards. Now, if you want to know, okay, but what can I do? What are the actions that I can do to get my ex back? If you click in the description box right below, you have free resources that we are creating. You can also access to masterclass live. So we do some live where we answer your question, we do some presentation, because we really want to assist you. But doing an ultimatum that you will regret would make your situation worse. So please think twice before to make any decision, and click in the description to enjoy the free materials.
Absolutely. It's always a good idea to take it one step further, to invest in yourself, to really make sure that you understand the concepts and the advice and the tools that we offer, and so that you have no regrets as well. So you know that you can continue to count on us. We will be here to support you, and we wish you only the very best.
Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe on the YouTube channel and the podcast. We are here for you guys, and keep fighting the good fight.
Take good care.
Bye, guys.